how mental health and kind of how sometimes you got to disregard that to get to a certain level. So I'm going to play it. We're going to listen to it. I'm going to talk about it. I ain't going to be here that long tonight. I just kind of wanted to give you all this and let's see what I took from it and see what y'all think pretty much. So
I wouldn't be as successful as I am. If
let me know
my
if y'all
mental
hear
health
it.
was a priority, I wouldn't be as successful as I am. I mean, and that's just like a sad fact. Like, I obviously never would have buried myself alive for 7 days, 7 days of solitary, 7 days on a deserted island, 7 days, blah, blah, blah. Being able to consistently suffer over long periods is like arguably one of the deepest modes. Like, there's a reason no one makes videos like me. Like, not even close, because no one wants to live the life I live. I think there was 1 year where I was flying like 200 days. Like, I was on a plane. I mean, it was a fuck fest, but you know, to get these videos done. When I wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna be pretty fucking tired and feel like shit, something I always tell myself is, how you feel right now is why no one else does what you want to do or does what you do. And if you push through this, that's just even, you know, more of a reason why no one will ever be who you are. And so it's like, I think being able to push through unhappiness and do things you don't want to do consistently year after year over the course of a decade is like the ultimate advantage. Like, I mean, I think we'll hit 1 billion subscribers, and I don't think anyone will be anywhere near close, because like, once you make a couple $1 million, why would you live the life I live? Like, why? Why would you not take weekends off? Why would you not just film locally, even if it means less views so you can be on the right time schedule? Why would you not, you know, prioritize your sanity and that kind of stuff? It makes no sense, but that's why no one else does it.
And that's facts. Everything that Mr. B said, I totally agree on that. Let me move this out the way. Oh, crap. Hold on. So pretty much everything that Mr. B said was facts, man. That's facts. And that's why I kind of titled this, pretty much nobody cares, right? Or nobody really pretty much gives a fuck, right? This is why I feel this way. Now, a lot of people gonna be like, dang, you know, that's kind of harsh. But ultimately, man, we got to be able to toughen up and realize, bro, that realistically, bro, it's a harsh reality. Life overall, right? So when you at a point where you able to push yourself through those tough times, you kind of got to be insane to do this stuff. When I play sports, this is one of those things that I learned, bro. When you play a sport, especially something like football or something, you got to be pretty much insane to go out there and run full speed at another human being and go clash head to head. Like, you got to be insane. And it goes for the same things with entrepreneurship and things of that nature. You got to be kind of insane. You got to be kind of crazy. You got to neglect your mental health to be able to, at this point, especially in business or whatever, it's no longer being crazy to the point I'm going out here to hurt myself. But at some point, you got to realize I'm going to have to sacrifice some type of comfortability. You're going to have to sacrifice some type of comfortability. The thing is, we get so caught up in this world of, you know, man, you got to make sure you're good mentally. You got to make sure you're straight. And I do believe that. While I do believe that, I understand there's going to be certain seasons where you can't worry about that. I being in the gym, bro, I'm working out, being in the gym, bro, I tell people all the time, people that I work out with or whatever, bro, I ain't going to cap, bro, especially as a man, bro, nobody cares about how you feel. And yeah, it seems harsh, bro, but that's ultimately what the reality is, bro. Nobody really cares about how you feel. Your job is to go perform. So guess what? If you're feeling tired, nobody cares. You still have to go perform. So you feel tired, what is that going to do for you? Now, some people are going to be like, oh, this is terrible advice, but ultimately that is the reality of it. When you have to go out and provide, nobody is like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You still have to go out here and perform at the highest level. And sometimes to perform at that highest level, you're going to have to not worry about sleeping. You're going to have to not worry about going out here and feeling good all the time, because ultimately you're not going to feel good all the time. There's going to be times you're going to work days, weeks straight without no sleep. But that's why it's also important to be able to have something that you can lean on during those times. And that's why it's important to be able to have a strong foundation, preferably built on God. Because there's going to be times where you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to realize, bro, I feel like I'm doing this by myself. But ultimately, like Mr. B said, at some point when you're doing the things that everybody else feels like it's too crazy to do, once you push through that, on that other side is going to be extreme success because you're going to do things that other people wouldn't even be able to do. And that's one of the things that we have to start. I'm not saying neglect yourself. I'm not saying forget, but especially when you're young, bro, you're going to greatly appreciate that work that you put in. You're going to greatly appreciate the opportunities that you gave yourself and your family because of the things that you were able to withstand. Bro, I promise you, nobody cares about how you feel. We get too caught up in that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Only person that cares is God. Talk to God about it and continue just to go out here and get after it. Now, I'm not saying there's no time where you should take time for yourself and rest. Maybe take a day, whatever that is for you. But ultimately, the other 6 days of that week, you getting after it. And you like, bro, I'm not worried about it. I know I got a day coming up where I'm gonna rest. So set that day where you gonna rest. I just started doing this. That's one of those things you have to do. You got to say, you know what? It's Monday. You say Monday through Friday, bro, I'm going crazy. Or Monday through Saturday, I'm going straight work. But I understand on that 6th day of the week, unless something come up where you have to work, you being able to actually just get in there and go after just go hard as you can and just say, all right, cool, and reset this day. But ultimately, next day, I'm back to it again. And this is kind of the mindset that you have to have. This is the importance of a strong mindset because you have to be able to be strong enough to be able to go through those times where you may not feel the best. Bruh, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I'll be real with y'all. Every week. Every week, especially being in entrepreneurship and working for yourself and stuff like that, and you got responsibilities. Every week, about once a week, I start to almost panic. Just because I feel like I'm not doing enough. Or I feel like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not where I want to be? First of all, then I get into the mindset, but then that's when I say, you know what? Take time to just breathe for a minute, go to the gym, work out, and do your meditation every morning. And that's why having a morning team is extremely important too. Because in those moments, I'm able to go listen to a sermon. I'm able to read my Bible. I'm able to just calm down, slow my thoughts down, and understand, hey, I'm exactly where God needs me to be as long as I'm doing what I need to be doing to get to where I need to go. Look, I'm doing what I got to do. So therefore, the fact that I'm not hitting the destination that I want to be at, guess what? Not everything is in our will. We have to get to a point where we understand that sometimes you're going to have that times when you feel like you're just going crazy. Like you're like, bro, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I feel this way. But ultimately, it's extremely important to know that it's going to be like that sometimes. It comes with it. There's going to be times where you don't feel like you're not doing enough. There's going to be times where you're going to be like, bro, what am I doing in my life? There's going to be times where you feel like you're not exactly where you need to be. Or you watch other people and you see them doing more than you. But now you are where you at. You feel like you should be farther along. But ultimately, that's why it's important when you do go through those tough times mentally to be able to have a strong foundation to lean upon. So we have to build that strong foundation and make sure that God is within that foundation all through that foundation, because ultimately that gives us something to lean on. You know, a phrase get me through a lot of stuff when stuff not going right, stuff not going how I want it to go. God got me. That's it. Whatever it is, you losing money, God got me. You ain't close the deal, God got me. That deal ain't go the way you want it to go, God got me. Whatever it is that's going on in life, that phrase right there alone, having that faith to understand that God got me, is a great feeling. Because ultimately now I'm not going to get down or too down on myself and say, you know what, I'm not where I need to be, or I'm not doing enough, and then you get sad and get depressed. Now, the only reason I can say that is because I've been doing it consistently for a long time now. Consistency builds faith. Consistency literally builds faith. Because after you consistently been doing something and you see, even through the ebbs and the flows, you always know, eventually I'm going to get back right. Eventually that deal going to come through. Because I've seen it so many times that I understand it's not going to be like this forever. Now, when you don't consistently do something, you lack faith. You lack faith because you've never seen it through, so you could build that faith muscle to know that you will get through it. You don't have the consistency to ever build that muscle in any part of your life. Consistency builds faith, because once you consistently do something, and even in the times that it's not working, you're still consistently doing the work, and you see that the breakthrough eventually comes, you start realizing, it's a pattern here. As long as I continue just being consistent, I will eventually hit the goal or get to where I need to go or be able to get that deal that I want to close or whatever it is. Consistency is everything. Consistency literally builds faith. But ultimately, it's vice versa too. Faith builds consistency. Faith builds consistency. How does faith build consistency? Because if I'm doing this, I have faith enough to continue being consistent even when I see that the thing's not working. Faith builds consistency as well. So in those times where you're not in a place where you want to be, or you may not feel the strongest mentally, but you're able to have that faith to continue being consistent and understand, I may feel like this right now, but I know for a fact it's not going to be like this forever. So we got to learn how to continue just being faithful. None of y'all just ever been faithful to something to stick to it long enough to be able to see it go through. So that way, now guess what? You lack consistency. That's why y'all give up on everything so hard, because you don't have faith in anything. If you have faith, you'll be able to be consistent. And that consistent ultimately is what's going to get you back to that level mentally to where you need to be. Honestly. There's nothing. The only thing, you go to God, talk to God about it. God could get you through whatever. There's no song that you're going to listen to. There's nothing you're going to go to. Some of this stuff is just going to be a temporary fix. Being consistent and consistently having faith will get you the result that you want to get. Consistently having faith will get you to where you want to go. I mean, you got to ask yourself, have you ever had enough faith in something just to stay extremely consistent with that thing, even when it's not working? For me, there's months where I know it's slow. I may not have closed the deal that month. I don't have nothing lined up for the next month, but I understand that, hey, this is something I've seen over and over again from being consistent, that I understand that guess what's going to happen? Eventually, as I'm doing this work, that breakthrough will come. That deal's going to come. I'm going to close something. I'm going to get something under contract. I'm going to get it assigned. Why? Because I'm going to continue just working towards it no matter what, even when it seems like it's not working. Man, I'm not going to lie to you. Bro, it's business, bro. You get discouraged sometimes. I get discouraged sometimes for sure. You like, damn, bro, this shit ain't working, man. I ain't closing nothing. Shit going slow. And you get discouraged. But even in those times of discouragement, being able to have that faith and going to God and talk to God about it and say, you know what? I understand that God has always had me. He's always going to have me. And he has me at this very moment. I don't have to stress about it. I'm going to continue just being consistent and being faithful, and understand that this faithfulness and this consistency is ultimately going to lead me to the place where I need to be, even when things are not working out in the way they need to work out. Now, I'm not saying you stick to something that's not working, but sometimes you give up so fast that you don't even give it a chance to see if it's going to work. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of y'all seen that meme where you see the person digging, and they just about to get to the diamonds, and you got the other person at the bottom, they turn around, and then you got the other person at the bottom digging, and they about to hit it. Sometimes we just not consistent enough to be able to get to strike that goal. It's not going to be easy. It's going to get tiring. It's going to be draining, because you're going to be like, you know what, man, I'm just not seeing that result where I want to be at. I go through that right now, for sure. This is real life. I'm like, man, golly, thank you, God, for the blessings that you have provided me with. But I feel like I keep hitting the ceiling. Year after year. I keep hitting the ceiling. And I feel like I can't break past it. But I'm not going to quit. First of all, it's a blessing to continue even just being able to produce those results. That's a blessing in itself. And part of this stuff of being faithful is showing gratitude. Gratitude is part of everything. If you're able to show gratitude for the small wins, you're able to continue just moving forward and being consistent. And being that consistent person that you need to be. But I go through that and I'm in my head sometimes like, dang, bro, like what's going on? Why I can't grow? Why I can't get to where I need to go? But I understand that it may make me sad some days. It may make me feel down some days. But I'm not going to stop doing the work just because I feel down. Because guess what? Feeling down and stop doing the work is not going to get you the result that you want to get anyway, because you want a pity party about how you feel mentally. You want a pity party. You want somebody to come and say, oh, it's okay. I understand you working hard. Most of the time, people not even going to tell you, good job, you're working hard. They want results. Most of the time, people not going to say, man, I see you going hard. Congratulations. That's not it. Performance-induced society. We live off of the performance. And you don't get a congratulations for providing. You don't get a thank you for providing, especially as a man, because that's ultimately what you're supposed to do. And you shouldn't look for it. Honestly, you shouldn't look for it. Because if you're looking for that, you're going to quit, because they're not going to give that to you. You should just be able to have that. You should just be able to have that. What's the word? What's the word I want to say? You should be able to have that being able to say thank you to yourself or say congratulations to yourself. And that's why you set your own goals and you celebrate yourself. That'll get you far along too, just being able to celebrate your own wins. Because it's like your kid going to school and they come back and they say, everybody done had this parent. Man, I passed this test. Oh, congratulations, you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's your job. Nobody cares. That's what you're supposed to do. And that could be draining mentally because, like you see Mr. Beast doing all this work and he doing stuff that a lot of people will not ever do. And he putting himself, he's flying 300 times a year, going back and forth and shooting these videos and doing these things. But ultimately, he's putting himself there, but nobody's telling him congratulations. What's really hard about that whole thing, he don't need nobody to tell him congratulations because he sees the results. Once you start to see those results, you understand, you know what? I know I'm doing this for a bigger purpose. I'm doing this for a reason. I'm trying to get better with being consistent on social media. That's why I'm here right now. I don't care how many people watching. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to continue doing the same thing because ultimately this is something that I want to do. And I feel like I've been called to do this, but therefore I keep stopping because I see, okay, I know my real estate business is giving me some results. So therefore I'm just going to do that, lock in on that. What you should. But I'm like, whatever you lock in on, you're able to have success with. I've learned that through doing real estate, from having the On the Porch podcast, where we're just doing the same thing every week, day in, day out. Driving videos day in, day out. And eventually, guess what? Some hit, boom. And then you're out of there. If doing wholesaling or doing wholesaling real estate has taught me anything, it's taught me the importance of consistency. If you do the same thing and you're consistent with it, you will get the results that you desire. How fast is it going to come? We don't know. But we know for a fact if you keep doing the same thing and you keep hitting that tree in the same spot, eventually that tree going to fall down. You'll knock it down. We got to learn that nobody cares about how you feel. That's the harsh reality that people don't want to hear. Nobody cares about how you feel. You don't have time to sit around and feel and care about how that you do want somebody to care about how you feel. That's just not the reality of life. Once we realize and we're able to just accept that reality, and we're not working and caring about how other people care about how we feel, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Until then, it's going to be hard. I accept that a long time ago. I'm not expecting, now, of course, you do get someone, I'm not going to say that everybody is just going to be like, oh, just keep working, be a workhorse, nobody cares about how you feel. Yeah, your mama probably care about how you feel. Your family probably care about how you feel. But you know what they also care about? Being taken care of and being fed. It's a thankless job. And that is okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have to be thankful for, I don't have to be thanked, not thankful. I don't have to be thanked for the things that I'm doing. You know what satisfies me from doing the things that I do and working and continue just going forward and working through everything and continue working through the time I'm tired, you're sick, whatever it is. Those days where you gotta keep working and you gotta go get your energy drink just to continue moving forward and not going to sleep, not taking no naps. You know what gets me through that? Stuff like this weekend. Right? It's my son's birthday today. Right? It's my son's birthday. Had a great party. Nice party. Amazing party. Very beautiful. Seeing that come to fruition from the work that I was able to do, thank God, and the work that God allowed me to do, and God provided those things. We never gonna neglect the fact that God does these things. But seeing those things come to fruition from the work that I've been able to do for years, and be able to provide that with no problem and without have to stress about it. Now, of course, I still be like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of money. Like, duh, I'm complaining. Not complain, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. But it is what it is. I'm thankful that I can do it. That is enough. Seeing my mama smile or being able to help my family out when they need help with something, that is enough. When I go out and give back and I go feed the homeless and stuff like that, that is enough to be able to keep my mental health strong. Not nobody telling me, oh my gosh, you're doing a good job. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I don't even need nobody to tell me thank you. Because I'm satisfied from being able to handle my responsibilities as a man. That's what satisfies me. Or handle my responsibilities as a follower of Christ. That's what satisfies me. I'm good. I'm good. We got to understand that we may not get thanked. You may go through tough times. You may have a time where you're not the best mentally, but you got to continue pushing through it because that's ultimately what's going to set you apart. When you're able to ignore how you feel sometimes, ignore how you feel about us, ignore how you feel right now, mentally, physically, ignore it, and just being able to push through it. That's what ultimately will put you in a better position, or put you in the best position, or put you in the top position. Being able to ignore that, because the ones that's able to ignore that the most. Now, there is a such thing as burnout and things like that. But as I stated before, burnout usually comes. Burnout usually comes when you're not seeing progress. So continue to track that progress, and that'll continue just giving that motivation that you need to continue moving forward, even in those times of uncertainty, or those times of stress, or those times where you feel like you're not right mentally. Because when you're able to look and say, you know what? I said I'm able to do this. Take a deep breath, you sip of water. All right, let's get back to it. We too soft. We way too soft. This society, honestly, bro, we just soft. That's okay. We want somebody to come and coddle us and help us and, oh man, you all right, bro? Ultimately, bro, nobody's coming to save you. I promise. Get right with God. Have that strong foundation. Get into your word. Because ultimately, that's what one of those things that continue to just got me more into my work. Because at one point, I start feeling like, bro, I help everybody. But if I need help, who's gonna help me? And I start feeling, man, I ain't got nobody to help me. Like, so some stuff go wrong on my end, who gonna help me? But then I realized, wait a second, I got God. So therefore, I need to lean on God way more than I have ever before. Because that's ultimately who's providing all this for everyone. So being able to get that strong relationship with God and realizing, hey, if you feel alone or you feel like nobody can help you, if you're a person that's kind of like the breadwinner type, sometimes you get in that mind state where you like, bro, dang, bro, I gotta go, because who gonna help me if I fall down or when I don't have what I need? Who gonna help me? The one that's been helping you provide for everybody else this whole entire time. And that's the reality that I came to, that was like, you know what? I need to be able to, God been helping me so much and been blessing me so much to be able to do the things that I'm doing. It's only right if I follow him completely. Devote time to him all the time, every day. Walking. Now, of course, you're going to slip up, you fall, you got to stand back up, you got to get back up. Of course, that's going to happen. But you have to be able to have that strong foundation, because ultimately when you're going through those times, like Mr. Beast was saying, of course he didn't say this, but I'm going to be the one to say it. When you're going through those times where you're not right mentally, what's able to continue help you go through those tough times when you don't have the time to prioritize your mental health or go to a counselor or have the means to do those things, the ultimate counsel is just being able to go to Jesus. Go to God. Like, when those times get hard and you like, bro, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what's going on right now. Boom, boom, stuff not happening how I want it to happen. Or stuff is going how I want it to go. I'm just tired because I got to keep going. What's ultimately able to continue help you in those times is being able to have that relationship with God. Because that's who always going to have you if nobody else does. That ultimately helps you get to where you want to go. So I lie when I say nobody cares. God cares. But you have to be willing to devote that time and read the word and get into the word and build a relationship with God and put him through everything. So therefore you can always feel like someone's there helping you or there with you along the way. And it is God. So how do you get those times where Mr. B get through those times where you feel like, bro, I'm tired, I don't understand, I want to quit, I want to give up? The only way you continue doing those things in those times is being able to go to God, get that refresher that you need from God, and then continue he's going to give you that strength that you need to continue going and push forward. And that's just that on that. Stuff isn't always going to be easy. You're not always going to feel like doing the work. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're not mentally healthy. And that's just that. That's the reality of it. When you're actually going after something big in life. But we have to understand things are not going to be like that forever. Life ebbs and flows in every aspect. You got to be able to keep that even keel and not being get too up, not getting too down, and continue just to move forward and fight forward during this journey. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you're not right mentally. Continue just building that faith. So you continue just being consistent. Because faith builds consistency, and consistency leads to having more faith. Faith builds consistency because when you have faith, you're able to continue just working even when you don't see things working in the way that you wanted to, because you're able to have faith to understand that these things are going to work out in the way it needs to work out, so you're able to continue being consistent. And then when you're being consistent, once you start seeing, even when things not working out, I'm able to see that eventually it's going to work out, and then it may slow down again. But I've done it so many times during this cycle that I understand the ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. I've now built this faith that, hey, this is going to work because I've seen this before. So faith allows you to be consistent. Consistency builds more faith. I'm about to get off here. But ultimately, take care of yourself because mental health is a real thing. And I know that. I've lost many people to suicide. I've lost many people to people that just felt like, they couldn't go through it or they just gave up on life. And I don't want to see nobody do that ever again. But we got to build that relationship with God first and foremost, most importantly. And continue to have faith even in those times where, you may not feel right mentally. And being able to stay consistent, understand that consistency is going to bring that breakthrough. Because God sees that you're being consistent. He's eventually going to have that breakthrough come for you. So, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me tonight. I've been here for 30 minutes, 31 minutes. I'm here every Monday. Mindset Monday. Another one in the books. This might be like number 4 or number 3 or whatever. I'm going to drop these on YouTube Mondays for Mindset Monday. Every Monday. And this is ultimately going to be able to help us get to the next level where we need to go. Because we can want to have success in whatever it is that you're doing, whether that's, sports, whether that's real estate, because a lot of people, sometimes watch me for real estate, or, whether that's for fitness. Whatever that's for, just being able to be consistent, have faith in it, to just not give up. You'll be all right. Mindset is everything. It is not, you're not going to go get the results that you want to get in anything in life without being able to have a strong mindset, because having that strong mindset allows you to continue just pushing through those turmoil, those times where it feels like it's uneasy. So, y'all have a great night. Have a blessed night. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back on Wednesday for Real Estate Wednesdays. I'm going to post clips from this and all that stuff. But ultimately, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. And I am out. Peace.